this will not define the Ohio State Fair. The Ohio State Fair will carry on. We will have, there's so many things to do here, and the Ohio State Fair really recognizes the people of Ohio bringing their children, their grandchildren.
Ohio Governor John Kasich reflecting today on yesterday's deadly accident at the Ohio State Fair. Tonight he says he is thinking of the victims and their families. Last night's deadly accident is affecting fairs and carnivals around the world. Rides similar to the Fireball are being closed until further notice. Now here's what we know about last night's incident at the State Fair. 18-year-old Tyler Jarrell was killed. He would have been a senior this year at Franklin Heights High School, and he had already committed to joining the Marines. 7 others, including 4 teenagers, were injured. Some people were hit by debris. The fair is open tonight, but all of the rides have been shut down, and they will go through another inspection. Tonight, the State Patrol has also set up a tip line. Troopers are asking anyone who witnessed the accident or has information that could help them to give them a call. Here's the number: 614-799-6633. We continue our coverage now. NBC4's Mark Taylor live at the fairgrounds tonight, leading our team coverage. Mark, what's the mood out there? I'd imagine this is a tough, somber day.
Definitely, Ellie. The weather here tonight, definitely a reflection of the mood in the air. A young man lost his life. Several other people sent to the hospital yesterday on the opening day of the fair. There are still a few people here who visited the fair today, and one of them was Governor John Kasich. NBC4's Jason Aubrey caught up with him today. He joins us live with those details. Jason?
Well, the governor kept a very brisk pace as he walked around the fair today. And, you know, he made many stops along the way to talk to the many people that did still show up while the rain hadn't rolled in yet.
Maybe all of us need to take a deep breath, even today, and think about how we treat others. That's always been my message, and it will continue to be. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to take a tour. There will be some questions. Look, I've said all I have to say today.
And with that, the governor began his tour of the state fair, determined to show that everyone can still enjoy it despite the terrible events of Wednesday night. The governor made time to meet with fairgoers of all ages. He talked to them about a number of things, including religion and sports. He sampled food from Schmidt's and saw some amazing things you can do with butter. He even took a moment to recognize John Steinberger for his decades of work with 4-H. Nearly all of his tour, people were having a good time, enjoying themselves, even dancing. But one small portion of the tour was somberly quiet as he passed by the midway with the rides idle beside him. The governor finished his tour in the Butterfly House. This year he was unable to coax one of the monarchs onto his hand. He says they're a little bit jumpy this year. Perhaps there's a tension in the air. Opening day, but the governor did come out for that traditional tour of the state fair. Mark, back to you.
And Jason, we did catch a little bit of the governor's press conference earlier today, and he said his heartfelt condolences are, of course, with the victims and with their families tonight. But he also had a message to Ohioans about the fair. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, you know, I think the big message he wanted to get out there was that the fair is here for everybody, and there's a lot to do here that has nothing to do with the rides. There's still many events you can come and check out. He toured the fair, and it really kept that stiff upper lip. You know, he met with people. He was cordial, smiling a lot, and making sure everybody was still having a good time. And as you saw in the piece, he had a little bit of a good time himself as well, Mark.